Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is Paula from PSEN Creations, and today's video is a flip through of a sewing pattern themed junk journal that I just finished. I acquired a number of older, I don't want to say, I mean, they could be vintage, but I'm not sure of the years of vintage. So I'm going to say older sewing pattern pockets, like these, where it's a little pouch and then it has the actual sewing pattern and other things on the inside. So I decided that I would make a junk journal using them. I also used a folder, I'm sorry, an envelope, one of those like manila or brown envelopes. I used one of those as my inners. And yeah, I am thinking about making a video to show the process that I followed to make this. So stay tuned for that. But so this is a one signature junk journal. It measures about 8 and just a little over 8 inches in length and about 6.5 inches, maybe just a little bit over 6.5 inches in width. So again, this is just going to be a flip through. I'm going to show the front. So here is the actual front cover pattern and the back. And I don't know if you can see, but here's the copyright of the pattern. It's probably hard to focus on it, but it's 1972. So this is 1972. And I just put eyelets, and my closure is just some, I think this is a sari that I had, I believe. But I like the color. I thought it went well with this. And of course, I do have a wax thread is how I sewed my signature in. So I didn't overfill it. When I make my journals, I like to leave a lot of writing room. So that's just what I did. So this is a pocket that I left in here. And this is just a postcard, but I thought it was really cute. I don't know. But it's just a postcard that was not used. The ladies had dresses and the kids had, some outfits on. So I thought it would, I just thought it went well. This is just a journaling card that I just covered with a piece of paper. I can't remember where I got this from. Willow something on Etsy. I got them last year or the year before, but they're collages that this person makes. Oh, I can't remember. She has a YouTube channel too. I apologize. I'll put it in the comments. I mean, in the description. So it's just a journaling card. It's a pretty big size one, as you can see here. It goes 8 inches. So the inside, I used the actual sewing patterns themselves. So what I did is I just did a Mod Podge, cut up a bunch of them, and then just put in different areas, so you can see. So that's why some of them maybe look a little bit darker, because it's 2 layers on it. So I cut these out, put them down, and then on top of that, I put a full layer on. So it turned out really nice though. I'll show you the back. I did the same thing in the back. And I do want to point out really quick before we go into it, I did sew around the entire cover itself before I put the signatures and everything in. So that was like the final step. Was once everything was dry, I then just did a sew all around. This doesn't have sewing because, although I could have done that, but I didn't. So but anyways, because of the pocket. So just put this back in here just with a paper clip. It's too big to fit in the pocket, so that's why I have it paper clipped there. But and then yeah, I just used a number of different papers. So this is some kind of, I think it's an embroidery pattern. And I picked it up at the Goodwill a few years ago. It's the same pattern, but it comes in big sheets. So I cut them, and it's like a vellum style, so you can kind of see through it. So I thought it was pretty cool. This is from just, I think a sewing magazine, an old sewing magazine, 1969, August of 1969. This is just a cutout from some magazine. I can't remember where I picked these up from, and this is a coffee filter. So every morning I make coffee for my husband and I keep the filters. And this is just a coffee filter that was actually used. It wasn't coffee dyed. It was actually used to make coffee. And again, lots of writing room. Just some lace, coffee dyed paper. This is the pan that I used to dry the paper. It made these patterns, and I thought it was cool. This is an old seam binding, the little wrappy thing that goes on an old seam binding. This is 1986. I should have kept everything 70s, and I didn't even think about that, but it's all sewing themed. So what I do is I just glued it on here, so it's a little extra writing room. And then it's also, I do have it paper clipped, but it's also a little tuck for another journaling card that I made. And I had the paper clip on. It's more writing room. I just had this paper clipped on. I know this doesn't fit the era, but it's all sewing related. So I thought it was cool little card. You can journal on the back of it. More coffee dyed paper. Here's another lady. Another coffee filter. Another part of that magazine. And this is just, again, I don't think this is coffee dyed. I think I tried dyeing this with something else. I can't remember what it was, but I just added a little button to it. This is a page from one of those Sears catalogs that is a reproduction. It's not original, it's reproduction. And on the other side, I just added a little pocket that I made out of a junk mail envelope. And then I just collaged on it. And then I made this little journaling card as well, using this lady. I love that. I love how she looks. And this is actually a double pocket. I just don't have two journals. So there's a pocket in the very back, and then there's a pocket in the front. So I just haven't put two in there. This is just lined paper that I coffee dyed, but you know what happens because of the red and the green, it runs. But I think it looks pretty cool. It adds a different element. So this is another Sears catalog, but this is actually an original. It's not a reproduction. This is just a little tuck. I didn't realize that I used just a little piece of, I think it was like a tablecloth that I cut up. So it's a little lace that's coffee dyed. So you can tuck something. Like that. More writing. This is wallpaper. It was just like a shirt, so I thought it was really neat. I just added it. This is a postcard. I really liked how this lady looked. Again, could be more writing space, and I have it just paper clipped. This is another page of that magazine. It might be a knitting magazine now that I think about it, not a sewing magazine. Maybe a crocheting magazine. I can't remember. I'll have to look at it. I do have it. Another piece of paper, and then I just added this little ribbon that's measuring tape to it. A bag just to tuck things in. More writing. And then in the middle, I have this. This is scrapbook paper that I picked up from probably Michael's, one of the kits or books that they have. I have a little sewing needle just hanging, dangle on the middle here. These are just little writing journal cards that I made. I mean, they could be tags too, but I didn't use the tag shape. The other side of the bag. More writing. This is the other page of that magazine. And on this page, what I did is I just used one of those junk envelopes again, and I collaged on it, and I added another journaling card in there. And I did use some washi tape on this side too. So here I did a ruffle with some vintage fabric that I have. Sears catalog. This is a belly band that I made using some ribbon. Yeah, ribbon. And then I actually hot glued some buttons on it, and I sewed it to the page. And then I also made this journaling card. Again, just using these. I think were, I couldn't salvage some of the pocket. And so I cut the ladies out as much as I could to salvage them so I can use them in other projects. Another page with a little button on it. This, again, another page of that magazine, the knitting magazine. I just glued this trim onto it. I thought it was cute. It's just green trim. Another coffee filter, and I did these little flowers, and I added a button to the middle, so just to give it a little bit. This is just a flip of vintage sewing. No, this is vintage fabric. And then just a lace. Another vintage lace that is a ruffle. This one, I didn't ruffle myself. I already got it like that, so I'm not sure where I got it from. Here's another button, flower design thing on the coffee filter. Oh, classified advertising from August of 1969. So this is part of that same magazine. Those are interesting to read sometimes, though. But look at, here's knitting. They have a section. Improve your knitting. Order professional knitting secrets. Expert tips on techniques, fitting, finishes, etc. Over 50 patterns, stitches, $2. That's interesting. And then again, here's that vellum. I think it's I can't remember what it is, but, and then the back, and that's it. So that's my flip through of my 1972 sewing themed single signature junk journal. So I think front and back it's 80 pages that it has in it. So it's pretty, it's not small. You can see here, it's not small, but it's not ginormous. And yeah, like I said, I am thinking about doing a video on the process that I followed to make this. It was super easy, personally think. So I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know down below if you've made a sewing theme journal before, or if you're thinking about making one, if you have any of these little patterns. I think it's a great idea. And like I said, I'm definitely going to make more of them. I may even make some of the covers and then just put them in my Etsy with less. It will still have pages and stuff like that, but maybe it will be more of a template so that whoever buys it can embellish it however they want to embellish it. It would just be like the template. So it would be the cover with, I can do the closure, and then, you know, different assortments of papers on the inside, and then you do as you please with it. But I don't know. I haven't thought that through yet. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know anytime I do upload a video. And I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thank you all. Bye.